Afternoon everyone and welcome back to Patrol Base Live. We are here on YouTube and Facebook. If you are on YouTube, by all means drop a comment down below, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button. It helps us out a hell of a lot. So we are back this week with some new bits that have landed with us and some bits that might be coming later in the week that we'll talk about later. But we're here to look at the Saigo Defense Bushido GI. Bit of a mouthful. But yeah, very cool little platform, a few little different bits on it, something that sits in a very, very good place, especially if you're starting out, and if you trick it out like this, it can stand next to the big boys and definitely look the part. So, as always, if you have a question about anything, drop it down below. We'll flash it up on screen and try and get to you as quick as we can. If not, I always start at the front, work my way back, and try and go through as much as I possibly can. So, you will see on the front that there is a sort of very different style flash hider on here. So, it's almost like a heat-treated, muzzle-braked style system. Don't be alarmed if you don't want that. By all means, there is a 40mm counterclockwise thread underneath it. Simply unscrew it and you can put anything you want on there. But the sort of heat-treated colour that they've done on there, the blue into the silver with some purple in there, is very, very cool. Again, any trace unit or anything you want will just drop straight on there and you can carry on shooting lasers as much as you like. But very convenient, very neat, very tidy, and sort of matches the aesthetic of this platform really nicely. Coming back, we do have an M-LOK style rail system. There are other ones that are similar to this. It is becoming a strong staple of Airsoft, is M-LOK, because it allows the rail system to be thinner and lightweight, and then you can mount things exactly where you want them. So if you don't need any rail sections on there, by all means you can leave it absolutely flush. As you can see, I've tricked this thing out with a couple of accessories just so you can see what it looks like. The rail system itself does have the M-LOK as normal, and then the rail system, the RIS rail system that is on here does come with it. So there's one on the right hand side, one on the left. As you can see, the one on the left, I've attached a torch to, just so you can see how it sits. But if you want to move them around, you could remove them, put them at the back. You can move this one backwards and forwards and put accessories exactly where you need one. There is a slightly larger one on the bottom here. So again, if you wanted to put a grip, vert grip, hand stop, anything like that, you have the RIS sections to do it. If you don't want the RIS sections and you have M-LOK direct mountable accessories, all this M-LOK can just be freed up and you can put stuff exactly where you want it. On the top, it is permanently 20mm RIS, so you can see I've put the deval and the switch on there. Again, we'll come to them later. Reaper, one of our regulars. That's awesome. How heavy is she? Obviously, without any of the attachments or anything on, this thing sits at about 2.4 kilos, maybe a little bit closer to 2.5. So she's not light, but she's not up beyond 3 kilos that some of the sort of very heavyweight platforms are. She is quite balanced as well. She does have a plastic stock. The rail is aluminium, so it does keep it quite lightweight. It's not too front heavy or anything like that. With all the bits that I've put on it, it's probably closer to 5 or 6 kilos, but that's just because I wanted to trick it out and make it look as cool as possible. Coming to the receiver and controls, so it is a metal receiver, and you do have 20mm RIS going across the top. As you can see at the back, we do have a flip-up rear sight. You would have one at the front, but I've taken it off so I can throw some cool bits on there. Control-wise, it is extremely right-handed dominant, so we do have a fire selector on the left-hand side, so we have safe, semi, and full auto. The bolt hold open is just there for show on this one, and we do have a extended handle on the charging handle, so when you bring that back, you will find a rotary style hop in here. I'll harp on about rotary style hops and everything like that until the cows come home. They are really, really cool, especially if you're starting out and you don't know too much about hop or how things are controlled, etc. Once it's set up, it will stay. Some people, when they've had the gear or the sliders, they'll set it, go out, and then it'll start changing. They don't understand why. So the rotary ones, once you have set that hop, it is extremely hard for it to then adjust just by firing the platform. The BBs aren't going to adjust it or anything like that. Couscous looks a little low on battery space. You have a full M4 style stock tube there, which is absolutely ample for most AEGs. You can probably fit a 1400 milliamp single stick battery in there. I run a standard stock tube on my platform, and it is just I can collapse my stock tube down. You get the right battery fitting into the right compartment, that's totally fine. The only time you are limited on battery space is when you get the wrong battery. So you won't be able to fit a nunchuck or anything like that in here, but if you get yourself the correct stick style battery, a nice chunky 13 or 1400 milliamp will fit straight in here. Please be advised that this is Dean's out the box. So if you don't have any Dean style batteries, you will have to get a Dean's battery. But again, Dean's batteries, they are sort of slightly better for the power transfer. There's less resistance. They do last a minuscule little bit longer because of the less resistance, but the actual connectors themselves will last longer as well. They're just a better connector. So if you can get yours turned to Dean's, by all means do it, but these come with Dean's T connectors ready to go. Tom James, it looks great. 2.4 kilos isn't too heavy, but where is the point of the balance without the attachments? So with the gearbox back here, with the rail being CNC, it does sit sort of slightly at the back, just above the trigger, below the rear iron sights. So once this thing's shouldered, it sits really nice in the center. Again, once you put some more BBs in this, and that sort of center platform and the center of gravity sits really nicely in the center. With that being said, the magazine itself, it does come with a mid-cap magazine. So this is 130 rounds. Fill it with a speed loader, so there's no winding, there's no nothing. So again, a little bit different for the sort of normal things that we point out for new players, that if you're getting one of these, you might need an extra couple of mags, or grab yourself a high cap so you can just run this as it is. The stock system, it is a slimline style system, and you do have a sort of minor raise for a cheek riser there. It is a 6-position stock as well, so you've got plenty of adjustment. If you've got big gangly arms like me, you can throw it all the way out. As it stands, with it collapsed away, this thing's about 70-ish centimeters long, so it's not going to be terrible in CQB, but you're mostly going to run this outdoors. Once it's all the way out, it's about 79, 80 centimeters long. Out the box, you are getting about 315 FPS out of this as well. So again, sitting in that CQB outdoor, sort of my golden spot is sort of 320 to 325 is the sort of best power to weight ratio that I've just had really good experiences with. So if you go to some CQB sites that only allow 325 or anything like that, this is going to be perfect. With a few other bits and bats on this, you are really going to enjoy this sort of indoors, outdoors. It does have a 6.08mm inner barrel, and I think it's about 260mm in length. So if you wanted to add a larger barrel, you will need to put a attachment on the front just to hide it. But it does mean that that is possible, and it's very, very easy to do so. But yeah, if there are any other questions, I am really, really impressed with this thing. I've tricked it out with some bits that are coming later in the week. So these are just sort of a coming soon look. We've got some debals, we've got some new torches coming, we've got a new LPVO mount, we've got the canted mount. But yeah, very, very excited to get these on. So I thought I'd come and show them off with this thing. But yeah, really impressed with the Saigo Defense, the Bushido. It comes with that 14mm counterclockwise thread. You've got the really, really cool heat-treated muzzle brake style system on the front there. You've got an M-lock rail system that gives you absolute sort of customization. If you want to move these little rail systems around, put them exactly where you want. For example, what I've done with the torch on this side, so this was just putting this on here as an example. You can see that the rail system's on the front, the torch is mounted on the front, and it juts out just in front of the muzzle brake. A lot of people will put torches on and keep them back, and then what will happen, as soon as you activate that torch, you're going to cast a shadow across your own platform. You want to try and get your torch a little bit beyond the muzzle, or in line is pretty much perfect, and then you're not going to cast any shadow, and you're not going to cut off some of your own torch systems. So again, you could move this forwards, backwards, and mount it where you want. Throw the deval on the top, roughly where the flip-up iron sights that come with it. Again, gives you that laser option and just give a little bit of a tactical difference. Especially CQB, drop a laser and you know roughly where your BB is going to land. Other little bits that we've got on this one, we've thrown the LVPO mount. It's a little bit of a higher mount and a canted red dot just for cool vibes, because we like that kind of thing. But yeah, super impressed with this thing. We threw it through the chrono, and as I was saying earlier, 315 FPS. It's got that rotary hop, so once this thing's set, it is going to be good to go for a long time. Probably sit with like 2.5s in it at that kind of power rating. But again, if you want to tweak that, that is totally doable. But if there are no more questions, we will leave it at that. So this has been the Saigo Defense Bushido GI. Bit of a mouthful, but again, really, really cool. Once it's all been tricked out and got all these really cool bits on it, again, you can do however you want with this platform. I just thought I'd show off what is coming later this week. So if you want to grab one of these, they are on the new products page, so you can grab them now. If not, we will be back later in the week with another product showcase live stream. As we've always said, we do really appreciate people dropping in and asking their questions. If you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, get notified every time we go live or every time we post a video, and then we can continue making really, really cool videos like this. But if that's everything for today, I'll catch you in a bit.